Alrighty, back to it once again. And it is time for Chapter 3. Again, not entirely sure I'm gonna split this up. That's probably for future me, which is me from after streaming, because I'm probably gonna go straight to editing, since this is gonna go up really close to when I'm actually streaming it.
Well, here's the market. My work's done. What's wrong? You said love's outside the dish. Outside how? What does that do to the food? What has that love done for you? I need to know, so bring it on!
Very well, I shall oblige.
Duel 1.
I actually find it interesting instead of playing the opponent's team, partly because we fight the same characters a lot for the opening matches. For the opening match, it actually just plays Champs' theme. Trying hard is hard, so I try hard to try hard. That is not an exaggeration, that is the name of the song. I actually really like this song. It's probably like top 5 for me in this game. Like, no joke. They also made it harder to avoid whiffing throws. You can't PRC out of a whiff anymore. So that's, in my opinion, a very game-changing move. Because if you can't PRC out of whiff, it makes you commit more, because it's very easy to punish a whiffed grab. So yeah, a very interesting change is this patch in general. I kind of vibe with it. Again, lower the power ceiling, so then you can kind of bring it back up accordingly for characters who need it, and let's be real, a lot of them still need it. And there's some changes where it's like, I feel like they just buffed, like, Nago across the board to the point of, like, I don't know what they did to actually, like, even out all the stuff they gave him, basically. Why can't I? There we go. I could not get that to land for some reason.
I get it. You're not spouting total nonsense. Oh, you want an experience from food.
To put it into words, yes. To me, happiness is when I get to laugh and share a meal together with loved ones. It's hard work, coming up with a menu that'll nourish bodies and put smiles on faces. But there's a joy in it I wouldn't trade for anything.
How sweet. But I'm greedier than that.
No one can match your intensity, Jam. You've got a gift, Jam. You can bring happiness to complete strangers with your unforgettable cooking. Then you move on to the next town, leaving only mouth-watering memories behind. Rather devilish, don't you think?
I like the sound of that.
If you were to open up shop in Via Latia, I couldn't stay away. But that indulgence might come back to bite me.
Maybe I could stick around a bit if the money's good enough.
Oh, how wonderful. Then I'll greet you with a spread of Via Latian delicacies. Anyway, thank you for taking the time off to guide me. May we meet again.
See you. Have a safe walk. With a proper restaurant, my customers won't have to miss me. Usagi. Oh, I know. I don't expect answers from you.
I just noticed the background characters, so like the guy looking out into the water, and the like woman being like, "Yo, look over there," kind of like tapping him on the back and pointing. I never noticed that before. Also, that wasn't glitching out in the last 2 cutscenes. It was just the first one. I think it might have to do with like the fade a bit when Dizzy's talking specifically to Usagi, that kind of just breaks something in the lighting, but I think it actually was happening before that, so I have no clue why that one cutscene is kind of buggy at the moment. I guess one way to circumvent is just don't go to that part of the stage. when you are about to win the fight.
Lucky you. But
Yeah, genuinely, I wish Jacko and Jam had intro dialogue or something because of their connection to X-Art. I think that's a huge missed opportunity. Again, though, part of me does wonder, like I was saying earlier, how much it has to do with actor availability across multiple languages, because this game has an English, Japanese, and Korean dub. So yeah, one of my favorite tidbits about Guilty Gear voice casting in the English dub is that Jacko Valentine, I'm going to say her last name on purpose, the voice actress of Jacko Valentine in the English version of Guilty Gear Strive, also voiced Jill Valentine in Resident Evil 3 Remake, and also Death Island. So it's just very funny, Jacko and Jill Valentine.
he's okay.
I think she does a great job in both roles. I'm trying to remember in the Japanese version, I think the different personas of Arya might have different voices, but that might be wrong. Like the Arya side and the Jacko side, I think might have different voices, but they're the same in English. I don't know if that's true though, don't quote me on that. But I could have sworn there was something like that, or I might be misremembering. It might be the same actress in Japanese too, for both personas, but genuinely can't remember if I'm, like, where I got that tidbit from. So if I'm talking out my ass, that's why, because my memory is bad.
Get on your feet.
Yeah, I think she's great as Jill. It just makes me sad that we haven't seen Jill, like, in a long time outside of Death Island. In anything like an original story.
Well, you gave
In
now
like Resident Evil.
Jam wins.
Like genuinely, I think I have so much I could complain about with Requiem, and a lot of it has to do with I kind of wish it wasn't Leon. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it being Leon kind of takes the wind out of my sails a bit.
Mankind knew that they
I'm double checking that.
society. So instead of reflecting on this,
Yeah, I think I'm wrong about that. I think both are voiced by the same actress in the Japanese version. Because I'm only seeing one name in the credits.
to bring in more.
So my bad. Hi Venom.
Red question. What would you say pairs best with Red?
And what kind of wife best pairs with me?
Sudden, don't you think? Such a sweet aroma.
Jam
I'll be real, I kind of zoned out because I was double checking the voice actor thing. It's kind of weird. I love Venom as a character. I have like never played as him though very much, just because I'm not good at set play zoner type characters other than Dizzy, and in all fairness, Dizzy was pared back in this game to the point that my brain can actually process her moves a little bit better. But like, I could not play like AC plus R Testament. I think that would make my brain explode, like genuinely. Like there's jokes about in the like the Guilty Gear community about like war crime characters, like tier wise. So like you have your top tiers and you have your war crime characters. And Testament and AC plus R was kind of like that from what I gather, where it's like they were extremely overpowered in some ways. I just don't have the brain power to actually play as a character that complicated. That's why I always play as Jam, because she's very button mashy. You can just kind of mash your way through as Jam relatively okay.
All yesterday on the beat paste and you scoffed it down.
Yeah, like even Dizzy and Accent Core I'm not the best at, just because I find that style of character archetype very difficult to play. And again, she's still very set play and Strive, but I just find her a lot more manageable. I need to remember to do this more. Because again, it pushes the opponent back so far, they really can't contest you very much. Which is actually very helpful. And you can do that from really far away. And also I need to remember to actually, like, RC more. Ow. There we go, almost done. She also just doesn't have like her J2K, like Jump 2K, where you can like do a downward series of kicks. She doesn't have that anymore, which makes sense. A lot of characters with those types of moves don't have those. So yeah, I do lament some of the stuff that's missing.
You'll be my host, and you're my cash register, okay?
Jam.
But yeah, in general, I still enjoy Strive a lot, but I also understand why there's as much criticism for it as there is. You know, I think I was just straight up wrong about the thing I was saying about the Japanese voice for Chaco.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society.
So you know, I'm double checking in general.
Or hell.
You don't know when to quit. Oh,
Alrighty. Got Unica.
We're under special alert status. Any suspicious moves will be considered hostile.
Unica is interesting because her voice wasn't even revealed at first. Because I was during the SAG-AFTRA strike, so a lot of voice actors around this time went uncredited for things. So yeah, her voice was revealed after the Lucy patch, basically. And the anime itself wasn't actually dubbed, so she didn't have an English voice there. I lament Dual Rulers having a lot of missed opportunities. I still enjoyed it as a fan. As a fan, I was serviced, as they say, but I definitely think there were a lot of missed opportunities with it. But yeah, I just mostly think the final act falls apart. And again, Yunika doesn't even do like her big special, which involves her literally growing a tail and her hair growing out and turning blue. So for example, like if the anime had actually used that move, I think I would be happy. By the way, there was a whole hack, so a lot of Yunika's moveset was known before Dual Rulers aired, which did kind of create that problem of like, wait a minute, how come this doesn't come up? So for example, in this game it's revealed her big ass like weapon slash bike, I guess, also has a copy of Thunder Seal inside it, so like prominently seen a shit, basically. That doesn't come up in the anime at all. And again, her growing a tail doesn't come up at all, so yeah, I just feel like Unica gets sidelined by Sin in her own show, basically. Like, Sin is the main character, and I don't really find Sin that compelling of a character, so I think that was actually one of my biggest gripes with Dual Rulers. It's just, yeah, I didn't really vibe with Sin as much. Okay, see, I'm actually double checking this and now I'm second guessing my second guessing.
Wins.
Because I don't have to actually place Arya in both cases. Because again, Arya does, I think, have a separate voice actress listed. I'm not sure if that's what I was thinking of.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts.
Yeah, it's like in the dub, it specifically says Nicole Tompkins as Chaco and Arya, but in the Japanese version, it lists Arya and Chaco as separate voice actresses. So yeah, maybe I wasn't wrong in the first place. Maybe I was correct.
I will face you.
Yeah, I think she does a really good job as Jill, to the point that I lament her not being, like Jill not being in Requiem at all.
Says Nakoriyuki, Duel 1.
There are arguments that with a lot of the emotional, not to go into spoilers, the game isn't that old, but like, let's be real. People are bad spoiling things, but I'm still gonna be vague about it. Without going into details, I almost feel like a lot of the emotional beats they try to pull with like Leon almost work better if it wasn't Leon. If it was Claire, I think I'm biased. If you know, you know. I have my reasons. But like, Claire Redfield as a character means a lot to me, so of course I'd be like, I wish it was Claire instead of Leon. But even with the story they do, I feel like the emotional beats work more, like Sherry being involved. And that's in the trailer, so that's why I felt okay saying it. Because they kind of try to pass it off as like Leon helped save Sherry, which is technically true, but also like they barely interacted in RE2. So yeah, there's some stuff I kind of... But then the whole thing about like Claire just kind of works not for the government. Like Leon works for the government because like they were threatening to experiment on Sherry if Leon didn't just kind of agree to work for the government, which is also screwed up, and also something that Resident Evil really doesn't like talking about. And I don't know why, because it's really interesting to have Leon working for the government, but also like kind of being forced into it. I think that would be a very fascinating development to explore, especially as like there's all sorts of plot lines about like the BSAA being kind of sketch in like Village. Like kind of go into that, like the government also being kind of screwed up in this case, but yeah, they just never explore things like that, unfortunately. But yeah, Claire's reason for being there doesn't make as much sense compared to Leon just being a government agent and being sent to investigate this, because like, yeah, I think Claire works for like a humanitarian organization or something, and just keeps getting swept up into stuff like Resident Evil 2 Revelations 2 and Death Island and all that stuff. But she's not inherently there to like fight bioterrorism the way that like Leon or Chris would be. I like how I just got sidetracked by Resident Evil talk during Guilty Gear, because we're doing the third run of this arcade mode ostensibly. So it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna talk about Resident Evil. Let's talk about a different hyperfixation. It's vaguely related. It's like they announced the story DLC. There's rumors about the story DLC, which rumors are so like nebulous. Like, oh, there's a rumor that a game is gonna be like this, and then it comes out and it's like, if the rumor isn't exactly like how it's presented, I don't give them credit for it. If you just get some of the details right and a bunch of details wrong, you could just be throwing darts to the board. I'm not gonna give you credit for that. It's like a rumor has to be like really spot on, or else I'm gonna call BS a little bit. So like, the current rumors about Resident Evil Requiem come from sources that are just super like changing their minds, constantly changing their stories, kind of just making details that could definitely, like saying details that definitely could be just easily misconstrued or like changed to account for what we actually know is in the game. But the point being, it's like, there's rumors about who the DLC will focus on, and I don't like it personally. It makes sense, but I still don't like it. Also, like, literally the constant debates over the ending of Resident Evil Requiem is just driving me insane slightly. And again, I won't talk about that in detail, but there's like one bit of speculation that's just driving me up the wall. I want to play Requiem, for the record. It looks great. I still need to play 7 and 8. I thought about getting like a horror squad together, basically, of like people who would be able to quip through horror games to help me, because I think Resident Evil, like, 7 and 8 are pushing it for my horror tolerance compared to like 2 Remake and, you know, 2 Remake and 4 Remake, and even like 5 and 6. But yeah, I feel like I need to get like a special squad together, like who could riff over like Resident Evil 7 and 8 and make it less scary. I have people in mind, it's just they're busy, so I haven't actually asked or even told anyone the names I had in mind, because I'm bad at this. But yeah, I do want to play 7 and 8 genuinely. I just know there are a lot. And Requiem's also kind of a lot. I think Serena joked about this the other day. No, Serena and Sarah were talking about this like yesterday, I think. About like doing a pass-off playthrough of Resident Evil Requiem would be interesting. Like one person plays Grace, the other person plays Leon. I think that'd be really interesting. Doing that on stream is obviously hard, but you know, smiles. Also, thank you, Serena. You're very cute. I'm getting sidetracked a lot. Huh, we didn't see Kai at all, so we didn't get to see the alternate win animation, which is a shame.
Can't anyone leave me alone?
But like genuinely, I think that'd be a fun concept to do like one person plays Grace. So I would opt to play Grace because I love Resident Evil 2. I'm also a coward, so I think I'd react more. And like, to be blunt, if you're playing unmodded, I could not do the giant spider part. So someone else would have to take the reins. I'd probably have to leave the room, actually, if this was like an in-person collab kind of a thing. Or mod it, because, you know, PC mods exist. The problem with the PC version is, you know, modern games are very heavy. I still cannot get over how ridiculous the, like, Lego Batman specs are. I think the game's gonna run, like, hot garbage when that eventually comes out. It's gonna be an Arkham Knight all over again. Because there's, like, saying, oh, 30 FPS with frame generation. It's like, are you for real? That's not a minimum requirement. That's just a recipe for disaster. Like, just faking your frame rate, basically, is what frame gen feels like to me. So, same with Monster Hunter Wilds, I feel like the minimum requirements for a game to run shouldn't count frame gen. Or even maybe DLSS, though I can give that slightly more of a pass. Not DLSS 5, though, that can go to hell. But, yeah, I just genuinely feel like Legacy of the Dark Knight is going to run bad. Like, I just don't see a scenario where, at least on Switch 2, it's probably going to be bad, because of course it will be. But I even think the PS5 and like Series X versions will probably run like ass. As just a prediction, because if the PC specs are this ridiculously high without frame gen, or like with frame gen, I don't see how like PS5 and Series X are gonna run it particularly well at launch. But maybe I'm just being pessimistic. Like, game optimization is so hard for companies to do. Why is Tekken like 100 gigabytes? Why is Mortal Kombat like 130 gigabytes? This is crazy. IMO. I don't get it. Like, Strive is 30 gigabytes, like 30 to 40. And it's like, you know what? That's reasonable, I think. For a modern fighting game, I can live with that. But when you get past like 90 for a fighting game, that just feels ridiculous to me. But that's getting into a whole other rant. Anyway, hi Chip. You're the final boss of this route. And this one is a fixed fight because there's actual dialogue. Oh, I once again forgot who actually voices Chip in this game. Because I googled the previous time I did this, and I already forgot. So yeah, this will be interesting. I struggle fighting Chip.
Yo! There you are, chef lady.
What do you want? I'm trying to open for business.
Alrighty, we're getting Crawl as our boss theme as usual. So yeah, great song. I think Crawl's a great boss theme. Again, I think a lot of the bass songs are kind of slept on. I haven't used Burst at all, because I've been kind of sleepwalking through this arcade mode, I'll be real. Not to brag, but I feel like I've been zoning out a little bit. Like, I've not been, you know, giving it my 110%. I've been kind of, you know, on autopilot. Okay, that actually works. Cool. So yeah, the voice actor for Chip also voices Ed in Street Fighter 6, and also 18-volt in WarioWare, apparently. Yeah, I bursted very ill-timed. Yeah, no, I deserve that. But again, just to demonstrate, this is totally not on purpose. For the sake of demonstration, I'm gonna be honest about that. I just sleptwalked through that round. This one does work differently in that you do not have to actually win every round to get to stage 9. You just can go to stage 9. If I'm not mistaken. So I'm not as hard pressed as like other times, like with Dizzy. I wanted to lock in and get stage 9. In this case, I don't really care. It's not great that I'm actually getting bodied this much on stage 8 Chip, so I might actually lock in here. Partly just reading blocks to an annoying degree. Yeah, Jam's offense is very oppressive to the point that you can just kind of keep them in the corner if you can get them into the corner. Okay, you escape. Got it. Because, yeah, you have two main specials that alternate highs and lows. So... Ow. Okay. Again, he just loves doing raw super for some reason. And I don't like it, because to me it's hard to actually counter that. Oh my god, you can hear all the button mashing I'm doing probably. There we go. But yeah, I actually really love Jamp's design. Again, the previous game is like, damn, her skirt is like absurdly short. And Chip's just conked out as this argument's happening. I do like Usagi a lot. I don't know if they'll ever reveal who Usagi is, but either way. Banui's cute. So that's my wisdom of the day, is Banui cute. Alrighty, he's in the corner, which is where I want him to be. Okay, he's just gonna be an asshole, got it. I need to grab more. Again, I need to also use 2D more. The problem is she has a special low that's very effective, so I just kind of rely on that as like a safety net too much. Ow. Like, I just do that instead of 2D, and I should actually use 2D more, because I think it's faster. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, like that whiff could have been real bad if he had punished it, but he didn't, so like, shrug. I'll take it, I guess. Yeah, I keep accidentally doing that move, god damn it, when I keep meaning to do that move. Which means I keep accidentally just using PRC just to make up for the whiff. And burst at least, I'll be fine. I'll get back there. Again, keep accidentally pushing the wrong button, but we lived.
Strong as ever, but that's why I'm here. I've got a proposal.
What? If it doesn't pay, keep it to yourself.
Just listen. I'm looking for chefs from all over the world to liven things up for my nation's foodies. So, what do you say? We'll set up the facilities, and you can expect to do decent business. I guess you're all about that wandering chef life, though. I've watched your cart thrive over the past few days.
Yeah! You peeping creep!
Peeping? Ah, give me a break. It's observation. Easy go. It must get lonely packing up just as you start winning over regulars.
I can't say I don't regret it a little.
Think of it as a chance to try a new culinary style. And if you want to hit the road again, I won't stop you. Ideally, you'd leave a successor behind, but it's business. You do what's worth your while.
I use you to open up a restaurant for free, while you use me to liven up your country. I see. Okay,
Oh?
let me test you. Give me all you got.
Nani?
Hell yeah. So, Stage 9, mind you, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm full of shit, but I also might eat my words. Because this is mandatory, this isn't like, oh, you're on extreme, we're gonna kick your ass now. I do think, as far as Stage 9s go, this is slightly more reasonable than most. Again, I might eat my words. And if I keep accidentally doing that move, I will, for sure. Oh wow, that doesn't linger as much as I used to. Damn. I'm trying to not... Never mind. I'm just gonna do it. I'm in the corner. I'm in a bad spot. Yeah, I don't like Alpha Blade. Okay. Ow. Gee. We can definitely still win this. It's gonna take me actually logging in though, not just cruising. I kinda went on autopilot too much. Got used to like easier opponents. Oh, okay. I'm over there now. I like how you do like this little like ninja log thing. Like a teleport, kind of like swap out. Oh my god, that was a ridiculous red RC, actually. Oh yeah, she doesn't have the little, like, she doesn't have her DP anymore. Like, the little, like, upward, like, attack. I guess it's sort of like... No, it's not a Shuri. Since Jams is like a kick, but serves the same purpose, is that like a Shoryu? I don't actually know if that's technically a Shoryu or not. That's getting into semantics of fighting game terms. And that's kind of my overall take on it. It's like, you know, I might know a decent amount about fighting games. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm an expert. Like, I'm just not. Like, there are people way better at fighting games, and also more knowledgeable at fighting games than I am. That's fine. No objections to that. Oh my god, I keep accidentally hitting the wrong button. I keep trying to do forward circle, not back circle. Yeah, like it's so... like, it almost shoves you back enough that a lot of moves don't necessarily pose as much of a threat. So yeah, Jam's offense is very offensive. That was a weird way to put it. Like, oppressive, that's what I was looking for. So yeah, she's very, like, decent as, like, a rushdown option. And I think as, like, a pocket character, I think I might stick with Jam to some degree. That was dumb on my part. That was also dumb on my part. That was really dumb on my part. Why do I keep doing forward circle? Because I'm trying to do that to get, like, behind. Okay, I was just slowing the input there, but it's fine. Never punished. You know what? I'm playing real fast and loose for someone on, you know, last stock, essentially. I mean, he's almost dead. It's fine. But... yeah, that shoves them back so far. It's actually not a bad option. Also goes almost full screen, too. So, like, ow. These all plush of the auto, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like, this is a decent, like, ranged option. I feel like grabs are actually my best bet. He's not doing good against those, which is weird. You'd think the CPU would read that a little bit better, but... alrighty. Oh, I don't know how to block stuff like mix-up type moves like that. Alright, okay. I see how it is. Yeah, these two kind of have a rivalry of sorts, as established in the previous game. Both have, like, key mastery, so they kind of, you know, similar, like, moveset. Like, not movesets, but, like, in-universe, similar powers. But the only problem is they, I don't know, they just clash a lot. Jam kind of just clashes with everybody, to be honest. As we saw in, like, a lot of her story modes, it's just kind of her being, like, an asshole to everybody. Which again is why I kind of like Jam as a character, weirdly enough, is like she's not inherently like the most noble character. Like she's kind of like very much, it works in her own self-interest, I would say. You know, trying to, you know, her lying about defeating Dizzy just to get money is a very good example of that. But yeah, very fascinating. Again, not the most, you know, necessarily likable character, but I think still very fun. And that's what a lot of characters are in this series. They're just kind of like fun characters. Even if, again, objectively speaking, a lot of them are kind of screwed up in different ways. Okay, you're just gonna hold that, I guess. I don't think that's gonna kill. That's gonna... yeah, no, that hurt. Okay. Gotta not mess around. Okay.
I knew that was all too good to be true.
Fine then.
At least cry or mope or something. You're so boring.
I figured you'd say no. But, you know, I had to try before I crossed you off the list.
I'm not gonna work for your game. What do I care if your nation prospers? When I get knocked down, I get back up. For my own sake. 'Cause my goal is waiting for me.
Huh? Gonna tell me what that goal is?
Simply put, to make everyone smile with delicious food.
That's simple, all right. But aren't you doing that already?
A bumpkin like you wouldn't get the difference.
Shut up!
People can survive on bad food. But give anyone tasty food and they will be happy, right? So, who wouldn't rather spend their life eating delicious food? No one, that's who. If there's anyone who hasn't tasted the joy of a jam curado berry specialty, I'm on the way to fix it.
You're so self-righteous. It's refreshing. Well, who am I to fence you in and deny the rest of the world your gifts?
Who indeed? Now, shoo! Go cry yourself to sleep every night till I come to town.
I'll do that. But you've got a long road ahead of you.
I know. Every step leads to a new starting line. The harder I strive, the more insufficiencies and inadequacies I find. I doubt I'll ever be satisfied. But that's what passion's all about. Don't you agree?
Yeah. All right, then. Get out there and live by your convictions.
Don't talk down to me, you puffed up president.
Ooh, that one hurt.
This cute little bunny knows to look up to me. Be more like him. Okay, let's get the show on the road, Usagi.
Huh. You know, that's actually very interesting. They do acknowledge him being the president, which was like something that briefly came up, and it was either X2 or Accent Core. I forget which one actually. Yeah, I didn't put that together until seeing this again. It's like, oh right, they do acknowledge that in general. So again, what's canon, what isn't, I have no clue sometimes. But yeah, we did it. That was rough, but we did it. No problem. Some problem. Yeah. Pretty smooth on the whole. Again, I don't think having the different difficulties change as much, especially given how ridiculously long this is. But yeah, that's fun. I think our story's fun. The one downside I have is they do kind of, after Dizzy leaves, they do kind of drop the story of like what's the deal with the bunny, and it just shifts to, hey, Chip wants to start a restaurant with Jam, and Jam's very much motivated by your own self-interest. So yeah, again, not the most noble character, but a very fascinating one nonetheless. It's been nice going through all of her different story modes, seeing different sides of her as a character. She still, again, was my original minion, so I will always have a soft spot for this character, and I do think she is fun. But again, not necessarily the most inherently likable. That goes for a lot of Guilty Gear characters. Like, look at Abba, and she's still a very good character, but just not the most necessarily heroic, basically. So yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with Robokai when he releases. I also don't know who the hell the last two characters could be. I'm always scared of, like, mystery roster of year reveals. My massive, like, shoot for the sky hope is, Fanny from Guilty Gear Petite, of all things, who's a nurse who works with Faust before, or Dr. Baldhead before he becomes Faust. And so, given that Faust is like really screwed up in this story, I think Fanny would be an interesting character to actually bring into the main canon. Kind of like what they did with Ingrid, being kind of like a side game character and now being in Street Fighter 6. I feel like Fanny would be interesting to see that with as well. And I kind of want to see Kumhain come back, but not using the mech this time, but just actually fighting as herself. I think that would be a really interesting way to adapt that character. Like the same type of character, but just like not just some, you know, big hulking robot basically, but just her fighting. I don't know how that would work, but that's just one of my, you know, shoot for the sky kind of hopes. It'd be nice to see Raven again. It's been a hot minute. It'd be nice to see Answer. If you want to really reach for some deep cuts, I think Order Soul would be interesting, though I don't know how they tie him in. I'm just afraid of having like 2 guest characters at the end, like, you know. I'm just... Like, again, I didn't even play Lucy at all in this game, because I have no attachment to Cyberpunk. I have not played 2077, because it was a broken-ass mess at launch, and then I never actually got around to it. Plus, it's just a lot, to be honest, as a game. I never saw Edge Runners, because it's also very, like, heavy. So yeah, I just kind of am of the opinion that, like, I would prefer actual Guilty Gear characters, or at the very least, like, actual ArcSys characters. Like, I would be annoyed if they put, like, the main character from, like, that Damon and Baby game in here, for example, just because it feels like they're self-promoting. But I'd be okay, conversely, if, like, Ragnar the Blood Edge showed up in this. That I'd be okay with, if you're gonna toss another ArcSys character in. I don't really want that, but given that they didn't reveal 2 slots, that just makes me think, oh well, they already revealed Sham and Robocop, might as well just give those 2 away, since they're 2 of the most requested, and then keep the second 2 a mystery, versus, oh, we're getting 2 guest characters. But I could be completely off base, who knows. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Again, a little bit on autopilot without the extreme difficulty stuff. It's like I definitely kind of zoned out and was going on autopilot, but overall, yeah, I did enjoy Jam's story a fair bit.